It's so hard to finally get some in savings, it's hard to release it, especially if you're wired as a saver. We all have to work at one of our money skills. There's really three basic money skills: spending properly, reasonably. The second one's saving and giving. The power of generosity to completely change you when you learn to give as the natural rhythm of your life. It changes everything. So giving, saving, and spending. Everyone has at least one of those that they struggle with.
Imagine a leaky bucket with small holes at the bottom. Each hole releases a small drop of water, and eventually the entire bucket empties. Similarly, little expenses over time slowly drains away your money without you noticing. It waits for your payday, and surprisingly, it's not your usual grocery shopping. In this video, we'll reveal what this money drainer is and how you can save thousands of dollars each year. By looking at these expenses closely, you'll not only keep your money, but also find ways to make more. But first, let's agree that most people have common costs like taxes, bills, transportation, food, healthcare, and home expenses. The only difference is how much we spend on those things. But whether you spend a little or a lot, finding ways to save money in these areas is a big win. So, can you guess what's draining your wealth? Find out what most people are doing and do the opposite. Most people are not doing well financially. They may seem to have money, but they're broke. They spend more than they earn, they don't live within their means, and they don't have a budget. The first and most important drainer we have is transportation. In today's world, cars have become more than just a means of getting from point A to point B. They're often seen as a symbol of success. We're drawn to high-end car brands and the latest models because they make us feel accomplished. Think about cruising in a sleek Tesla or a brand new BMW. It exudes luxury and prosperity.
Americans owe $783 billion on their cars. 34% of that, one-third, that's $250 billion approximately, is subprime loan. 84% of people who bought a car borrowed the money. The average is up over $26,000. A car payment is a way to ensure that you stay broke. If you didn't write a check, by the way, to buy the whole freaking car, you couldn't afford it.
However, the purpose of status through cars, whether it's a Porsche or a fancy SUV, can take a toll on your long-term financial well-being. Surprisingly, it's not only the expensive models that can drain your wallet. Even seemingly affordable cars can silently eat away at your finances. Even more concerning is that many people may not be fully aware of this. You may have heard that in 2023, used car prices soared due to increasing interest rates, making new cars less budget-friendly. During the first quarter of the year, a remarkable 15.7% of individuals committed to monthly payments exceeding $1,000 to acquire new cars, a record high. Dealers have also been adding extra costs, further inflating the prices. So, those aspiring to buy a new car are facing the challenge of excessive monthly payments and inflated price tags. But here's where it gets even more worrisome. According to a study conducted by the New York Times, the average cost of owning and operating a car comes to approximately $122,000 per year. Take a moment to digest that figure. It's a substantial sum. Now, let's delve into the actual expenses of owning an economical car and explore some practical strategies to save your hard-earned money. Let's take a closer look at the 2018 Honda Accord and its financial implications. Over 5 years, this remarkable engineering feat incurs a total cost of $38,600, which averages out to around $7,700 per year. But what's the big picture here? The 2018 Accord is celebrated for its reliability, durability, and fuel efficiency, making it a sensible and budget-friendly choice, especially when compared to luxurious models like a Tesla, which captures the fancy of many, especially among younger Gen Z consumers. Now, according to the latest data from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the average monthly salary in the United States is around $6,228, which adds up to approximately $74,740 annually. Imagine yourself earning a hefty annual salary of $74,740, but you're still holding on to a used car. This can significantly hinder your ability to save and accumulate wealth, especially when you factor in other expenses like rent, utilities, and groceries. The financial strain becomes even more pronounced when you have a family to support. This isn't a critique of the 2018 Honda Accord. It's not a bad choice. In fact, it's a reasonably priced model that can serve you well without major issues for an extended period. Nevertheless, it's crucial to be mindful of potential hidden costs that can strain your finances. One of the significant culprits in these expenses is depreciation. No matter the car's make or model, depreciation is an inescapable reality for automobiles. Cars are depreciating assets due to their wear and tear over time. This is a fundamental reason why financial experts caution against purchasing a car that surpasses your income level. When you invest in a car, its value takes a hit, and it's a downward trajectory. In the case of the 2018 Honda Accord, it's no different, with a depreciation of over $122,000. Here's the silver lining. If you want to reduce vehicle expenses, consider the used car market. You can find a reasonably priced vehicle with good prospects. After all, when you buy a new car and drive it off the lot, it immediately becomes used, and depreciation begins, typically erasing 10 to 15% of its value. Speaking of the next money drainer, we have a credit card. Using a credit card may seem simple. You put it on the counter, they hand it back, and you get your burger. But it's important to understand that it's not like a traditional trade where you exchange something for something tangible. This idea may seem basic, but it's crucial. When it comes to personal finance, it's not just about what you know. It's more about your habits. In fact, about 80% of it depends on your behavior, with only 20% relying on your knowledge.
I don't know when. How long does it take people to figure out that these pieces of plastic called credit cards are not there for you? How long does it take to figure out that, oh, here's Bank of America? Let's do an on-air plastic surgery right now. We're just going to start chopping up cards. Bank of America. That's two good things to get rid of. Credit card and Bank of America. Both stupid. Here's another.
Studies have found that people tend to spend 12 to 18% more when using credit cards. Two main reasons contribute to this. First, you don't have a strong connection to your credit card because it's not your actual money. Second, credit cards make spending incredibly easy due to their convenience. But there's a major downside to credit cards: the risk of accumulating high-interest debt. Renowned financial expert Dave Ramsey strongly advises against using them, even if they promise attractive rewards like air miles or cash back. In most cases, those rewards only amount to a small percentage of your spending, so you'd only get a few dollars back for every 100 spent. This pales compared to the potential problems of missed payments and accumulating high-interest debt. The same principle applies to earning airline points or miles with credit cards. It's usually smarter to save money for a trip than rely on credit card rewards. This approach is safer and ensures that you can truly afford your travel without the stress of debt. Interestingly, many modern debit cards now allow you to make online purchases, eliminating the need for credit cards. Using a debit card, you can sidestep the pitfalls of high-interest debt, make wiser financial choices, and ultimately save a significant amount of money in the long term. The next and the last money drainer is one of the biggest challenges for your wallet. It is not having money saved up. To achieve financial stability and break free from living paycheck to paycheck, it's important to build up your savings. A good starting point is to put around $1,000 or $2,000 into a savings account. Think of this as your emergency fund, just like what financial expert Dave Ramsey recommends. While it might not cover all unexpected expenses, it's a solid beginning for handling financial surprises.
Savings is short-term, investing is long-term. Pretty simple, and you can define what that is. Past that, everything else would go to investing, because basically one saving is for protection, the emergency fund, and the other's for purchases to avoid debt, short-term savings items, and then long-term saving items, obviously retirement, kids' college, general wealth building. Never invest in something you don't understand, and that's a mistake people make all the time. You should always have an array of investments, a diversification.
Having $1,000 or $2 in savings is far better than being deep in debt, but that's just the start. To truly secure your financial future, you should aim for a more substantial emergency fund to cover your expenses for at least 3 to 6 months. In other words, your savings should be enough to handle all of life's costs during that time. However, growing your wealth isn't just about saving a few $1,000s. You also need to invest your money wisely. There are various investment options available, and Dave Ramsey prefers mutual funds. But for beginners, simpler choices like a 401k or an IRA are good places to begin. As your investments grow, consider low-cost index funds like the S&P 500, which historically have proven an average annual return of around 10%. Managing your finances involves dividing your income into three main areas: expenses, savings, and investments. Many people follow the 75-15-10 or 50-30-20 rule. In the first model, 75% of your income covers costs, 15% goes into assets, and 10% into savings. Alternatively, the second model allocates 50% to fixed expenses, 30% to personal spending, and 15% to savings. You can adjust these percentages to match your specific financial goals. A harmful money habit that keeps many people financially challenged is not budgeting or tracking expenses. Dave Ramsey emphasizes the importance of budgeting as a fundamental practice. Creating a written and detailed budget can provide you with valuable financial insights. It helps you see where your money is going, and often you'll discover areas where you're overspending or facing economic chaos. A detailed budget involves understanding your income and expenses.
You don't have to wait until everything stabilizes to start doing a budget. As a matter of fact, the only way it will stabilize is to do a budget this month, and then do a budget next month, and then do a budget next month.
Subtracting the two shows whether you're living within your means or struggling to make ends meet. If you're in a comfortable position, it becomes easier to allocate your funds efficiently. The next crucial step is to categorize your expenses, such as food, personal purchases, and bills, and set limits for each category. Adhering to these limits may require some adjustments initially, but maintaining a detailed budget can significantly improve your financial situation over time. Ultimately, as Dave Ramsey suggests, you'll feel like you've given yourself a substantial raise by having a well-maintained budget. The essence of today's learning is that sometimes, without you even noticing, there are tiny holes in that bucket that let your money slowly slip away. It's a bit like water leaking from a hidden crack in a pipe. These sneaky money leaks can drain your wealth over time. For example, as we talked about cars, when you have a car, it's not just about the cost of buying it. It's about how much money it takes to keep it running. To keep your money safe and growing, it's important to save and invest wisely. It's like putting money in a piggy bank or a special emergency account. You can also support your money in things that can make it grow over time, like mutual funds or retirement accounts. Having a budget is like having a map for your money. No matter how much you earn, you can improve your financial well-being. It's all about making smart choices and building good money habits. By being aware of these hidden money drains and taking steps to fix them, you can work towards a more secure and prosperous financial future. That's all for today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative videos on investing and savings.